On the night of February 9th, 2004, a young 20-year-old nursing student named Maura Murray crashed her car on a quiet rural road in northern New Hampshire. A nearby resident stepped outside after hearing the impact, and he found Maura standing behind her vehicle, shaken but all in all uninjured. He offered to call the police, but Maura refused. She insisted that she'd already called the roadside assistance. But it turns out that she hadn't. There was no cell service on that road, and her phone records later proved that she didn't call anybody. 10 minutes later, when the police arrived, Maura Murray was gone. Her footprints were gone, her scent trail vanished, and her phone, her wallet, her keys, all were missing. There was a running engine on an open road on a cold winter night, and a disappearance that has baffled investigators for 20 years. It's midnight somewhere, and tonight I have a story for you. Earlier that afternoon, Maura had suddenly left the University of Massachusetts. She emailed her professors saying that she'd be gone for about a week because of a family emergency. But there was actually no emergency. Her family had no idea that she'd left the campus. Now, Maura withdrew $280 from an ATM, she bought alcohol from a local store, and she packed her car with clothing, textbooks, and personal items. There was no goodbye message, there was no note, and there was no explanation. Just a sudden, unannounced departure heading north toward the White Mountains. Why she left is still completely unknown. Around 7:27 p.m, Maura's car slid off Route 112 and struck a snowbank near a home in Haverhill, New Hampshire. The homeowner was bus driver named Bush Atwood, and he approached her. He later said that she seemed cold and nervous, but she was quite steady on her feet. And he offered, of course, to call from help, but she refused. She insisted that AAA was already on the way, even though calling them was completely impossible from that location. Butch told her that he'd call police anyway, and he returned into his home and he made the call, turned off his lights, and watched her car from the window until officers arrived minutes later. But by then, Maura was gone. Now, when police reached the scene, they found the car locked. The airbags were deployed, and there was a red liquid which looked like wine inside of a soda bottle. Her phone, her backpack, and her wallet were missing, but the most unsettling detail was that there were no footprints leading into the woods. There were no drag marks in the snow, and there was no sign of any sort of struggle, and search dogs couldn't even find a trail. It was as if she'd just vanished instantly, without even leaving a single trace. Now, in the years since, three theories have dominated the discussion surrounding Maura's disappearance. And the first one is that she accepted a ride, and this is the simplest explanation. Maura might have accepted help from a passing driver just to avoid any sort of legal trouble for drinking and driving. Quick, easy, and silent. But in such a remote area with such a small time window, no suspicious vehicle was ever reported. The second theory is that she may have succumbed to the cold. Some believe that Maura wandered into the woods in the freezing temperatures, but this region has been searched over 100 times using dogs, helicopters, ground teams, and specialised equipment. There's never been any clothing, no bones, or no trace of Maura ever found. Completely nothing. Now, the third theory is that she unfortunately may have met somebody dangerous. Because her footprints were never found, many suspect that she never walked away at all. She was picked up or taken before the snow could record what happened. But no suspects were ever identified, and no evidence was ever recovered. Just silence. Now, strangely, about a month after Maura vanished, her father received a very chilling phone call. It was a whispering voice that said, "Maura is with me and she's fine." Now, police traced that call to a location near UMass, the same campus that Maura had left before her disappearance, but the caller was never found and the message was never explained. So, 26 years later, Maura's case remains one of the most disturbing mysteries in New England history. A young woman leaves campus suddenly, drives north without telling anybody, crashes her car, refuses help, and then unfortunately disappears in a matter of minutes on a road where no footprints should ever go unnoticed. Whatever happened that night was fast, silent, and absolute. A disappearance without a trace. If you like dark stories told at midnight, make sure you subscribe. I drop 3 new mysteries every single week. Until then, I'll see you at midnight.